what would you say to like a young lady or a young man that doesn't want to be on JV because it's JV, but they're a freshman or sophomore, you know? And those live game reps are so important. So what would you say about that, man?
Man, listen. What's up, everybody? It's another edition of the Bench Starters. We got me and James. We're about to talk a little bit about our coaching journeys so far. His obviously is, he started a little bit before I did, but we got some great stuff to talk about so far. So, what you got for me, man?
Man, I just want to ask you because we were gone for like a year and a half or so, and then about that same time, you picked up coaching and training, and I was probably already doing it for.
You trained me.
Yeah. So bro, I'm 29, bro. I started when I was 20, so like I'm 9 years now. But so like, what are some of like the expectations that you thought of coaching? Like the expectation that you thought that you would, like, man, I need to know this, and then you just learn, like, man, you just grow every day throughout the journey of just coaching.
No, that's exactly right. The everyday thing, like it's an everyday kind of grind. Like you're learning something different and you're focusing on something different every single day. Just kind of going in the gym and you're like, all right, you got to really, one thing I did learn is you really got to think about this stuff outside of practice. Like you got to put your hours in outside of when you step into the gym for practice for an hour 30 or 2 hours. You got to really lock in on the film, on the scouting. I was just kind of thought my basketball knowledge was, well, if I know basketball, so if I explain this to this kid, he should get it. And it ain't working like that. Like it's very much you gotta stay at them because you tell them one thing and they're like, all right, they go out and do it, but then they'll forget the next thing. You're like, hey, but don't forget this. And so it's just a constant battle of, all right, I'm trying to make this complete basketball player, so I'm trying to nail this while also getting them to understand this, and then this simultaneously, I gotta have you do this. So it's just kind of like. It's taxing in a way. I didn't know it was as taxing. I was just kind of like, all right, I say this, he gets it and he remembers it.
Yeah.
That's that. And so it ain't that. It ain't that at all. But it's rewarding when it does pay off. Like they do learn that trait and then they don't forget it, and it's now just a part of their game. So I will say that it is very, very rewarding.
How long do you think? Because so like in college I was injured, so it didn't really. I don't think I ever really went through the phase of like, man, I would have did this. How long did it take for you to be like, man, if I was on the court, man, I would have did. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have did this, or do you still have that a little bit sometimes, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's always that. You always put yourself in their shoes, but kind of in your way. Like, what would you do in this situation? Kind of like, kind of the struggles that, we're having right now. I'll say as far as like, staying in front of the ball and rebounding. I think that's two things that, the team that I'm coaching, we're having, issues with that right now. And me being always a defense first guy, I'm always like, man, why don't you just, sit down and slide your feet? And it's like, nah, man, it take more. It's like, it starts in the off season. If we're talking about just defense, it starts, you outside on that track or you out there on that field and you trying to, get better
Faster.
Speed and agility. That's where it starts. And we this being our first year, we had not really an organized program, but we tried our best, and it'll get more organized as we go. But yeah, like it's you gotta unfortunately you gotta know that like these kids, they aren't you. They aren't you. Even on, on I guess on their best day, they can't do the things you do. So you just gotta, like you say, you just gotta keep at it. You gotta keep at them, and you gotta instill that passion and that love for the game so that it will click and they'll be like, all right, Coach Noel is telling me like this is how he did it and he's doing it. I gotta, I gotta do it. I gotta go ahead and get out there and see what he's talking about. And so it just, like I said, it's so many things going on like simultaneously. And then you also got to take into account that they are kids. They're going through a rough time right now. Like, do you remember the stuff you were struggling with at 16? Like, it's still the same.
It's still the same stuff.
It don't never change, man. So I'm just kind of like, I try not to, beat their head in, because it's like, all right, take yourself back to 16. It's rough, man. Like, take it easy. Sometimes you gotta take a deep breath and like, all right, everybody relax.
I think sometimes as like coaches, or especially because we're not really like too far off from being in college and in high school. Right. I think sometimes we do. So we learn so much, and from playing college ball, being around college coaches, watching film. So like now we have this huge catalog of knowledge. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to like, man, why is this kid not, But it's like, dog, like at 16, I
was probably a horrible help defender. I was probably like horrible at these things that I'm yelling at these kids for. But I did get yelled at for them though. And that did help me eventually get it. So
I remember so like my high school assistant coach, and he became the head coach. He used to always I used to go home like, bro, this dude not giving me nothing else besides just rebound the ball. And now it turns into me telling my guys, like, the first thing I'm telling them is like, man, to get a defensive stop, it ends with the rebound.
Gotta get it. The ball.
So now it's like, dang, so I'm going home angry, upset, like, I'm averaging like 9 boards a game. Like, I can't grab every board. But now I see like the small things in the game where, like, as a kiddo, I didn't really, I was like, I always thought about like, okay, well, if I score this many amount of points, or if I was always thinking about the counting stats, and like, I think I was a pretty good help side defender and all that stuff. And I probably was a pretty good teammate, but also thought about the other stuff that was the sexy part of the game.
The scoring. The scoring, man.
The blocks.
Like,
I love boards because I wanted to get a double. So
right. Always.
I love getting boards. So I think that is the biggest thing, is having this catalog of knowledge. As a coach, you have to remember that those kids are not where you are at right now as a grown man.
Right. Facts.
Those kids are kids.
They kids, man.
Those kids are kids, and they still have to grow their knowledge of, and being in certain situations where their basketball acumen can grow. So,
yes, you just got to create an environment that fosters growth, I believe, and that's kind of what I feel like we're turning a corner. Is like we're getting them to be comfortable with themselves and be comfortable with making mistakes, but knowing like, all right, if you're gonna make this mistake, you gotta make it going 100%.
Yep.
Don't be shy about your mistakes, man. Like, run head first into that wall if you're gonna run into that wall. So I think that's another thing, is we just gotta get them comfortable. Like, they're just, at the beginning of the year, it just wasn't a lot of comfortability. It was just a whole lot of, uncertainty. Nobody really knew what was going on. This is new. These are new people that are coming in and coaching us. We don't have any rapport with them at all. So that just comes with time. I mean, you gotta put your hours in. You gotta put your work in. It just doesn't happen overnight. So that is one thing, I'm learning. Gotta take it a day at a time. Every day is a new opportunity to do better, to learn. Just don't go backwards. Make it that 1% better every day.
I just want to dive deep because, so like at my college, we have a developmental team, and then you're the head coach of the JV team at the school that you're at. What would you say about a young person who sometimes just want to get that, just to be on varsity, but don't understand like those live game reps on JV is so important, or the development team, like it's so important. Like, what would you say to like a young lady or a young man that doesn't want to be on JV because it's JV, but they're a freshman or sophomore, and there might be a junior and a senior at their position, and then in high school, man, it's 32 minutes, like, and there's quarters. I actually don't need to get subbed out. I actually can play 30 minutes. Like, I can come out for a little bit, but it's not a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? And those live game reps are so important. So what would you say about that, man?
Man, listen, we are going through this exact same thing, man. It's been some pushback from some couple people about it. And like I said, they're kids, so there's going to be pushback. But it's like, you got to understand, man, like let's just be real. You're not in a position to command 30 minutes on varsity because there are things that you don't do. If you want me to outline these things, I can. I can outline every single thing, every single reason why you're not on varsity.
Yeah.
But I think you also know why you're not on varsity commanding the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know exactly why. But I think you just kind of in a state of, you're getting caught up in the allure of being on varsity and being under the bright lights or whatever. But what you got to understand is, man, like, you don't have a ton of game experience right now. You haven't taken your enough bumps and bruises. Like, those kids that are on varsity, they've more than likely they've taken those bumps and bruises. They went through the exact same thing that you're going through right now.
Yeah.
So right now, there's a couple ways you can go about this. You can say, all right, I might be good enough to be on varsity, but if I'm on JV, I get to be the man. I get to actually act out like being the guy. I get to make the decisions on the court. I get to control the game. So if you are that person, why not get those reps in and take over the game and be that? So come time for your opportunity for real, you already know what it's like to be the guy. This is something that you talked to me about, and it kind of opened my eyes up. It's like, you got to get those superstar reps, is what you call them.
Yeah.
And it was something that I never really thought about until I actually thought about it. Like, sat down and was like, man, I didn't really know how to be the man until the ball got thrust into my arms, and I was like, all right, go get a bucket, and then do it again, and then do it again until we win the game.
And go make the right reads, and you're consistently have to go make the right reads, and you're losing. It's probably your fault.
Your fault. It's your fault. And you got to shoulder that, and you got to not only shoulder it, but you got to be mature and say, all right, yeah, that's my fault. That's my fault as well. Hey, I missed that box out. My fault. And that means a lot. That means a lot to your teammates who are doing the other little stuff. They're like, he's taking accountability. That's a leader. I'm gonna make sure we're in the best position to win. I'm gonna put him in the best position for him to be successful. Mm-hmm. That's what a leader does. And so, more than likely, those guys that are ahead of you, they have leadership they've, again, bumps and bruises. They've taken them. So they're in a position, they know what it's like. They're gonna take, all right, hey, that's my fault. That missed shot, that's my fault. That defensive assignment, that's my fault. You got to be able to be that guy. So as far as you being on JV and you not happy about it, like, maybe you do play varsity and maybe you play a couple quarters on varsity. Okay, now you got to figure out how to be a complimentary player. Now you got to figure out, all right,
how productive can you be in those
very
minutes,
little,
those 8 minutes? How 4 minutes? Like it isn't about like, oh, man, I'm not playing a lot.
I ain't getting shots.
But what did you do in your time given, that the team that you play for, the coaching staff can go back and look like, dang, you know what, man? He might need some more time. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like the biggest thing is sometimes kids get confused with, man, or getting lost in this kid plays varsity at this age, and I'm the same age as him. He's a freshman. He's playing, but not realizing, man, that kid just might have more basketball acumen than you, and he might just be able to show it a little bit better right now. Mm-hmm. So you should be able to just go back and just run your own race and, get those live game reps, man. Like, and I those live game reps are so important. It's funny, I'm watching my little brother this season, and this is his first time having to be like the guy or one of those guys, right, for sure. You know what I'm saying? His freshman year, his team went to state, but he's just going there playing defense. He's a great teammate. You know what I'm saying? He's not asking for no more.
He's playing a role.
He's playing a role. And then his sophomore year, he's like, getting more shots, but he's still very much fourth guy or whatever. Now this year he's like
he one or two from what I see.
One or two, and it's just those early on. I think it was kind of a struggle because he's never been in a predicament of being like, you know what, like I need to go out here and be great every single possession,
every single one. You don't get to play off when you're the guy because the eyes are on you.
Yeah,
parents, coaches, college coaches, the other opposing coaches. Like everybody's looking at you when you're that person. So you got to deliver everything. Comes to rebounding, defense, scoring, commanding the floor, like taking over the game, like just big plays, like big moments. Like you're always at the forefront. So nobody you have to deliver or that privilege gets taken away. You know what? He ain't up for it. Let's bring this other guy. Yeah. This other guy gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Somebody got to do it.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah, it's a lot to be said to those kids. Like I said, we've had some pushback, but I think we're starting to get to the point where it's like they understand what that means. Like, get your 6 quarters in, man. Get your 6. Like, you get to play 6.
6 quarters, man.
That's basketball. Like, you get to play basketball for 6 quarters. Why would you be mad at that? Like, what she like? I don't know, man.
I'm not even tripping, man. Because when I was in high school, it was 5.
See, and there was where I went to high school at. There was no split, nothing. Like
really?
It was you played your 4 varsity, you played your 4 JV. That it ain't no you get 2 and then 4 or 3 and 3. No, sir. 4.
There was no live game reps, man. No extra live game reps at that.
Exactly, man. So yeah. It's a good conversation, though. It's a good one. It's a good one to have with those kids early, the ones that you think can really shoulder that load. So,
what are some things that you guys have done to, encourage development, like encourage kids to get in the gym? I know me and Marcus, we had talked about some ideas, but so what are some stuff that you've done, even with your like AAU program? And I know sometimes it's just about just getting in the gym.
Yeah.
But sometimes for the kids, it's actually like making it like a badge of honor. Like I know me and Marcus talked and we was talking about like, man, you guys should put on a wall and get a number of shots made and then through from this year to next year, how many guys have made and like reached this target, Like what is some stuff that you just did? Or maybe it was just, I'm kind of like, hey man, let's get in the car, we going straight to the gym, man.
Yeah.
Not knowing. Maybe, but I'm also the boring guy, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a super boring guy. Like you come in here, getting a lot of pull-ups, a lot of catch and shoot, a lot of lifts, a lot of drifts, working on that floater, working off of 2 feet. Like
that's just
a lot of rest.
That's the foundation. That's the foundation right there. I would say for me, it's a commitment, and this was just my journey through basketball and being better at it. Was, hey man, you got to understand that like if you want to be a high level basketball player, the gym part is paramount, but you got to understand that you got to be a high level athlete too if you want to push your potential. Like this over here is there, and you got to do it. Everybody got to put those 10,000 hours in that
basketball.
lab.
Yeah, for sure.
But dude, you got to get out here on this field. You got to get out here
in the weight room.
In this weight room, and you got to become explosive, like laterally and up and down. Like it's. That stuff is gonna push you because some kids just get it naturally, and it's unfair. I get it. Like,
so, a question. So, what's yours naturally?
I would say my dad played. He played at Lincoln. He played the D2 Lincoln. Okay. So, like, I had some, but my mom didn't play no sports.
Yeah.
So, like, I felt like I was kind of like, all right, you got half and half. But I'll say that my dad, he did a great job of like, hey, get in this gym, get in this weight room. It's that or nothing. And then so I kind of worked myself into an athlete. So it was a commitment that I made because it was kind of once I saw that little bit of like I can jump a little bit. Okay, let me push let me push myself. And so that's really what I preach to those kids. It's just kind of like, man, you can make your life a whole lot easier. You do a lot of work in that weight room and on that field and on that track. So that's kind of that's the kind of thing I've been harping on. The basketball part is I'm gonna continue to yell at you about that. Stay in the gym. Beg us to get in the gym. We'll figure a way out. Like,
Yeah.
But like that right there, that puts you over the top, man. A lot of people, I mean, people are doing it, but those are the high level athletes are doing it. But not everybody's doing it. Not everybody is knowing. Some people are just getting by on the fact that they're naturally talented at basketball, which is fine. But you can shorten that gap. You get out there. You go run track. I mean, you might play football your first couple years, you know, just to get some shoulders on you, get some weight on you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a stickler for that track and that field, man. You got to get out there and do it, and in the weight room as well.
And I think that the weight room is very paramount because I mean, paramount to your success. I remember my freshman year after my first game, so my head coach was like, you know, an incident happened. A kid had said, called me a racial slur or whatever. And, you know, I'm crying. Like, I'm 15 years old. Like, they just call me the N-word. Like, I actually want to beat his ass, low key. Like, you know.
For real.
For real. But if I do that, it's like I look crazy.
Exactly.
So my coach was like, you know what, man, at this school, you're going to play a lot of guys that's probably going to say stuff like that. And he said, hey, man, let's worry about the basketball part. Because the other stuff, like, I can't control what another person do, but you can control getting in that weight room. You can control, you know, getting in that gym. After that, man, like, I just lifted my freshman year, like, every day. I was like, man, I was playing JV. I'm like, man, ain't no college coaches in no JV game. You know what I'm saying? But I got my live getting rest, but I can be a little sore. You know what I'm saying? I was okay being sore. So, like, that next year I came in about 6 foot, and then, of course, you're growing and stuff like that. I come in, like, 6'3", 6'4", like, I gained 15 pounds. I was, like, 6 foot, 150, and then next one, I was, like, next year I was 25 pounds. I was 6'3", 6'4", 175. Like, you know, but I just stayed in that weight room. I stayed consistently working on my game. So kids, like, that weight room is just is huge for development. It's just so huge about, you know, just getting more explosive, getting more athletic, just even looking good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it does.
Like, man, I mean, if you have your little tight jersey on and then your biceps is popping out, man, like,
it feel good. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You look good in your jersey.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You filling out your jersey, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna lie to you. It feels good. So you just got to do it, man, because it ain't, you gonna get, all right, I'm gonna be real with you. You gonna get to these D2s and God willing D1s. These dudes is built, man.
My level, these guys are built. These guys are, man, I'm telling you, man, I'll be looking at these guys like, yeah, it's about that time for me to start getting back in the weight room myself, man, because these guys are big, man.
6'5", 200 is a regular
regular degular dude.
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's a regular, like, it ain't, I mean, are you going to be able to mitigate the fact that all right, I'm 6'2", 180. All right, your basketball skills got to be through the charts. Like, you going to have to be able to, like, really score off the dribble, like in order to mitigate the fact that this man over here is 6'5", 200. So I'm just going to say, get in that weight room, get out there on that track and field, make something happen, man. Be somebody.
What's one thing that you've grown in the aspect of coaching since you started coaching? Because it's like your second year in. Like, what's the thing that you feel like, man, like, when I first got in, I wasn't that good, but now I've gotten so much better at. Because, like, for instance, like, I tell Dalton all the time, man, like, even in the summertime, or like even when I hit you up sometime just to come sit with me on the bench during the summertime, I suck at subbing. Like, in my head, I'm like, bro, you better push through. But I still got other guys on the bench, but I'm like, hey, man, I'm looking at them right there in the face like, man, look, you better learn how to push through, man. I need you out there for another minute and a half, actually. So I'm not really good with subbing, but I felt like I've went back and watched games. I've broken down like, okay, I should have subbed here, or I should have called a timeout here.
Right.
So even like when I'm looking at like the film, trying to, like, you know, help my players get better. But if it's a game that I know, like, I'm coaching in, I'll go back and like, should have called out timeout right here, or I should have just we didn't get a good possession. I should have just said skip it. I need to run. I need to call something. You know what I'm saying? Just to help my team out.
I'll say, try not to have such a vice grip on the game. Trying to let them play through it.
Yeah.
Let them decide, I'm not out there playing, unfortunately. I would love to be. Yeah. I'm not. So I really can only control so much. It's really on them. So, like, I will say, like, just letting it play out, like, try and, relax.
Yep.
Take your foot off the gas. Let them figure it out, because ultimately that's what it's going to have to come to for them. I can't make a shot, can't get a rebound, can't do nothing. I can only do so much screaming. I can only call so many timeouts. Yep. Very limited to what I can do. So I just had to realize, hey, man, back up a little bit. Like, you doing all this yelling ain't really, it only helps so much. You ain't really doing much.
Nope.
So, like, control what you can control, relax, take a deep breath, and, let them figure it out. Because either they are or they aren't. And there's nothing I can do about it at the end of the day. I can only, the coaching, I feel like the real true coaching, I mean, it's done in spurts in games and stuff. You can help things in the games, but the real
practice.
That's what I'm saying. It's done before that. It's done, it's done way before that. So, like, what they're displaying out there right now is a product of your coaching. You just have to, that's just what that is. So you either have to get better, or you just have to, all right, this is what I did. So, just trying not to have so much control on the game, because you can't, man. You're gonna lose hair trying to, like, make everything happen. So, I'll go with, just taking a step back throughout the game. Like, of course, I'm gonna still yell. You got to.
Almost definitely.
You can't not yell playing, coaching basketball. You be so excited. I think that's my problem.
That's what my thing is. I'm like, come on. Like,
I'm amped. I want to be out there low key.
I'm super excited.
Like,
I'm always excited. Sometimes, like, I even look back at like Dalton, and I might make a joke, because it's just like, bro, I just love the game so much.
So much.
I love the game so much. So it's just like, it's not even always like yelling out of anger. Just sometimes just
excitement.
I'm just yelling out of excitement, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. It's that's a hard habit to break, because it's, again, you just causing yourself, you just making your own throat hurt by doing all this yelling. Sometimes take it easy, but that's what I'll go with is, take a step back, man. Just let them, you can do what you need to do, call plays when you feel you need to, call timeouts, but just kind of, let them determine what the outcome of what it'll be, because you can't do what you want to do, which is go out there and win the game for them. Can't do it. Sorry, your time is over with, unfortunately. So I'll say that much. You trying to fire these questions off? What you trying to do? You got more? You got more?
Nah, man,
let's fire them off.
Man, let's go. Hey, so these are hot shots, man. So towards the end of our episode, so today, since only us two, we're gonna, we both got five questions for each. So I think Noah's gonna go first, I guess.
First?
Wait, so do you want to ask me first, or do you want to?
No, let me go first. I'm gonna go first. You ask me.
Okay. This is who's winning this year's the 2023 NBA championship?
Oh, Lord have mercy. You put me on the spot.
You got 24 seconds to answer.
I know. I'm going with the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going the Bucks, man.
Bucks.
It's going to be a tough road going through that East. Ooh, it's sticky, nasty, all of that. I think they'll come out on top, and then they'll take care of whoever's in the West. Your turn, sir.
All right.
Dream finals matchup this year. Give it to me.
Oh, my dream finals matchup.
What do you want to see?
Lakers versus Celtics.
Lakers versus Celtics.
Yep. I know it's gonna be Hey, I know it's gonna be crazy for the Lakers to get it, but I think if they can sneak into the playoffs, man, I don't think that's a team that anybody wants to. Lakers are not a team that wants to play them. I don't think there's a team that wants to play them 7 games.
No, I agree with you 1,000% with that. They just got to get in, and they got to get some sort of continuing. Some sort of like rapport where they're going into the playoffs rolling. I agree.
But what I'll say is the team that I want to win the championship is the Philadelphia 76ers.
76ers.
Or the Clippers. I'll take that back. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
76ers versus Clippers. I'll take that back. I actually take it back.
Okay.
I need my boy James Harden to get his first ring.
Okay.
I need that. I think it's crazy that no one's looking at his 22 and 11 or whatever he's doing right now. Probably the best point guard in the league. I'm not going. Best point guard in the league. Count it. MVP of the league, Joel Embiid. We're gonna.
I agree
count
with
it.
that. I agree with that. He needs more consideration.
And we got Kawhi Goat over there.
I don't know about that.
So we got Kawhi Goat, and then got John Wall. So
Paul George. They just sound like your favorites. These just sound.
Those
like
are my
your
favorite
favorites.
guys. Those are my favorite guys. So I'm super. So
next question.
Next
please.
What's your highest scoring point? Points scored in a game. I don't care if it's men's league. I don't care if it's high school. I don't care if it's college. What's the most that you've ever scored in a game?
I had 48 in a pro-am. I think my junior year at Park. After my junior year at Park, I was playing in a pro-am. I had 48. That felt good. I ain't gonna lie. It felt really, really good. And then we had another game that day, an hour later, and I had 30. So I was like, whatever I did that day, I don't know. I haven't been able to get back to that. So whatever I did that day,
crazy 48 is crazy. I think mine's is 32, and I had 28 in the second half of a men's league.
Jesus Christ!
But like when I was playing, mine was 28. Was
it the men's league that me and you were playing in against each other before we knew each other?
No. No, but it's the one that you're playing in right now. The one that you're playing in right now.
In out south and
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like I had 28 in like a second half.
Jesus Christ! You was going nuts.
I was tired.
It was jumpers or layup. What was you doing?
Jumpers, layups, whatever.
It was all
me,
of it.
like just whatever.
It was all of it.
Yeah, we lost though. It was most definitely a playoff game. It was.
Those are the worst. Those are the worst, man.
I felt like Jimmy Butler on that one meme when he was leaning over.
Dog.
I was like, man, it's over.
Those are the worst when you like kill and y'all end up
losing. Sick.
That's whack. All right, I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. Favorite sport besides basketball that you enjoy?
Volleyball.
Talk to me. Is it just because we go to Park and they're awesome at it?
Yeah, no, and it's just fast paced. Even like so, like when I was in high school, like I managed the volleyball team.
Yeah.
So the coach was like, "Hey, if you manage, I'll stay in the gym with you."
Oh.
So basically, you can say that there's a teacher here,
yeah,
so I can get my shots up. So
I
got to work out and
smart.
stay. But the game is so fast, so I think it's not like basketball in a way of how you're scoring the ball. I mean, but it's still like it's so fast,
it's quick
paced.
and explosive. Yeah. It's explosive,
so
man.
I would say it's most definitely volleyball.
Shout out the Park volleyball team. They always good, man.
Both men's and
natties. I know they kill. They kill.
I'm gonna say outside of the GOATs, right? So outside of your favorites, so like Kobe, Dwayne Wade, Michael Jordan. Who do you want to just like if Noah was leading a franchise? Who would you have to be the guy that's shooting the ball 18 times?
Shooting the ball
18 22 times outside of the guys that we already know that everybody will say.
Man, I mean, does T-Mac count as a guy?
T-Mac most definitely counts as one of them.
He's one of them.
I want you to choose a bucket getter or someone that you was like, man, he probably is a bucket getter if he had a bigger role.
Oh, if he had a bigger role.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, that's a tough one.
Past or present, it does not matter.
Man, you know who was my guy? And he was kind of a guy for a second? Josh Howard, man. Shout out Josh Howard, man. I'll say I'm gonna go Josh Howard.
Josh Howard.
For a minute he was an all-star. He's a one-time all-star. He almost averaged 21 a year. But I felt like if he actually like was given just shots, more shots. He's playing with Dirk. He's playing with Jet. He's playing with a bunch of dudes that could like kind of score. So he never really like got it. But man, if he had stayed the course and they decided to give him the ball, man, 25 a game. I think 25 a game. So
bucket getter like that.
I think so. I think he had it in him, bro.
Okay.
You going to hoop? Short shorts or pants?
Oh, you know me, baby.
Where you going?
I'm on the short shorts.
You
baby.
going to short shorts?
You know me. I got the short shorts
yeah.
with the tights, which you can see.
Yeah.
Yes, you already know me, man.
I got you.
Hey, and the crazy thing is, it's not because I just want this to be known. I've been wearing that since I never liked baggy shorts. I never wore shorts below my knees. So I was wearing short shorts like in 2013.
Okay, you got it.
I was wearing
bro.
like running shorts in 2013. So like
You was the first. No, I ain't gonna lie.
I
I'll give because I got it from you. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up. Like I had regular length, and then I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead like go to the
short
the 9-inch, and then I was 7. Then I got my first pair of 5s. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
I'm really wilding. But yeah, I got it from you. I got that from you. I ain't gonna lie.
Appreciate that,
I
man.
ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
I know that you might, someone might be hitting you up after this or like, come on, really? Best teammate that you ever played with, and it doesn't have to be about their skill, but just someone that you enjoyed.
Best teammate. Yeah.
But it could be about like, man, I really just like playing with that dude because he's just a freaking winner. But at the same time, it could be just someone that it could be someone that you just really enjoyed. Who's your best teammate?
This a question, my boy. It's probably gonna be a tie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta go when I was at my D2. I got my guy, Ural King. He played with me when I was at Southeast Oklahoma. Right now he's overseas. It wasn't so much the on the court stuff because I wasn't playing and he was playing a lot. So it wasn't so much that, but I guess we were just really good friends, and like we had just kind of like when you don't play a lot, I feel like you probably get down on yourself. You're like, man, well, I'm not playing. He made me enjoy like being at Southeast. Like he made like we kind of kicked it a lot. And then he kind of, just kind of grew me up a little bit. Like I was kind of like a kid, and he kind of helped me like make that transition into like kind of, all right, you're a young man now. Like let's be men about stuff. So I'll say him. I'll say, like I said, not so much on the court stuff, but more of like him just being a friend to me. And then I'll say from my Park years, man, it's hard to argue against being a coach. It's hard to argue against BJ, man, because BJ Watson, coach at Montverde right now, point guard while I was there. It's hard to argue with him because he was just so positive. Like, he was just so positive on the court. I never really saw him tear down a teammate no matter what the situation was. He was always on the court. It was always strictly business, always strictly positive. Like, he could galvanize everybody. And, we had a wild crew that 1 year, that first year.
Yeah.
Like, we had some characters, and somehow we were all able to pull together. And I think because of his leadership, that helped a ton. So I gotta, as far as him being a leader on the court, I gotta give him his props there. He definitely was the number one person that I've played with that I'm like, as a coach, I'm looking at it through that lens. I'm like, that's a guy you need. You need him. We don't go to the tournament without him. So I'd say BJ Watson. Shout out BJ, man. For real. Next question here.
I think it's the last one.
The last one. You hooping. All right, we're at the hoop session. Before the ball gets checked, straight up or win by 2?
Oh, man, man's game, baby.
Man's game?
I'm betting on myself every time.
Okay, so
I'm not passing.
So straight up and win by 2.
Straight up.
You went straight up.
Man's game.
All right, man, you got it. I'm just saying wins by 2 is kind of advantageous. Is
man's game.
Man's game. So straight up.
Game, straight up. When it's 11, when it's 10-10, man's game.
Man's game. Hey, you better get that
it's
bucket.
actually just game. It don't even matter. It's just game.
Nah, I got you. I got you.
I know you're gonna hate me for this one. Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
We're gonna start, bench, and cut. Right.
Ooh. All right, man. I'm ready.
We're gonna start. So your favorite player, Dwayne Wade.
Okay. All right.
You got Dirk Nowitzki. And you got Luka Doncic.
How you gonna put 3? They can't even be the same kind of.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
All right. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I'm sorry, Luka. You gotta get out of here, bro.
Oh man, you're cutting Luka straight up.
Luka gotta go. I mean, at this point,
right now,
he ain't done it yet.
Okay.
Them 2 other dudes, they etched into history. Like,
okay.
And they're in the the side of the book where it's like, hey, they did it. Luka in the side of, oh, that's impressive, but he ain't on
that side yet.
And then, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer because Dirk got to sit on the bench. I'm a coach, man. I got to be real about it. D-Wade going to cover.
You're from Dallas, right?
Yeah, man. You know how
all the Dallas viewers, are you hearing what he's about to say right now?
Man, D-Wade covers so much of the game, man.
He said as a coach, he is Dallas viewers.
I gotta start D-Wade, man, because it's just like Dirk got a kind of a hole in his game. Just a little. It's not huge.
It's not huge, man.
But it's a little bit of, maybe could possibly be a defensive liability. D-Wade, he gonna cover that, and then he gonna give you some scoring. He gonna give you some playmaking. He gonna give it to you all. And I mean, Dirk back in his day, maybe he handle it a little bit, do a little bit of something, but it ain't D-Wade. D-Wade start to finish. I'm that. So I gotta do it.
I feel like that's probably one of the most. How long you been in Kansas City now, man?
I've been here since 2012, man.
Yeah, you're Kansas Cityan for sure. Because if I had a team, if Kansas City had a team, most definitely choosing Kansas City. Especially Dirk brought that championship to.
He did, man. It's crazy. Just dog, and he did it on D-Wade head, kind of.
D-Wade's head, yeah.
Like it was.
Man.
Bro, that's
welcome
another
to Kansas City, baby. You most definitely Kansas City.
That's for another episode. But man, I gotta keep it a buck, man. Like on the all-time list, I feel like D-Wade is just a little bit ahead of Dirk, just a tad, maybe a couple slots. He is. So I gotta go D-Wade there.
Yeah. Hey man, it was a great episode. I think it was a lot of gems dropped to help younger viewers and even coaches are trying to connect with their players and they just want to get better. We're the bench starters. Peace.